Hey guys, Justine here from Compass Maths Tutoring. And this week's tip is actually about derivatives and functions and keywords that are associated with different derivatives. And this is really a core topic in the HSC Mathematics Advanced course. So I just want to go through a few keywords that may pop up in exam questions, and having an understanding of these keywords will really allow you to work towards an appropriate solution for any question really. So the first, so we're going to consider a function called f of x, and that represents really any function. So the first keyword is if the function is positive. So if the function is positive, that automatically relates to the function being greater than 0. So this is correlated with this. The next keyword is if the function is negative. So f of x is less than 0 because it's negative. And finally, if the function is 0, then f of x equals 0. Okay, next we'll move on to these keywords. I'm just going to change color. So if the function is increasing, it actually relates to the first derivative. And if it's increasing, then the first derivative is greater than 0. If the function is decreasing, then the first derivative is less than 0. And if the function is stationary, then the first derivative is equal to 0. And the reason is because the first derivative relates to gradient. And keywords such as increasing, decreasing, and stationary are all words associated with the gradient of a function, and hence it's the first derivative. And finally, we'll look at these ones. So if the function is concave up, so concavity relates to the second derivative. So concave up means that the second derivative is greater than 0. If the function is concave down, then the second derivative is less than 0. And if the function is changing concavity, so in other words, there's a point of inflection, then the second derivative is equal to 0. So although this seems fairly self-explanatory, these keywords are really important to approach questions regarding derivatives. And it's important for you to understand how these words relate to different derivatives. For example, these relate to your function, these relate to your first derivative, and these ones relate to your second derivative. So keeping this in mind should really help you power through and ace those derivative questions. Hope that helped.